I hear a lot of people say they don't ever want to be alone because they don't want to be alone with their feelings. Trust me, I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot. But once you get used to it, it's like critically important to your happiness. All right, everyone, welcome back to the latest episode of the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy, and it's just me today. Today, I want to talk about a solo vacation and why every woman should take one. I actually just got back from one and it was incredible per usual. So, believe it or not, I have actually gone on solo vacations almost every year since my senior year of college. Funny story, pretty much out of a movie. I was dating someone from my senior year of high school through my senior year of college. And we had kind of been on again, off again the senior year of college. And then we finally broke up, but we were supposed to go on a trip together. And I still went on the trip. And I, of course, was super sad on the trip, even though I knew it was the right decision. And then eventually, I think the trip was probably like 5 days. I went from being a super sad, brokenhearted that we couldn't figure it out girl to living my very best life in a matter of 5 days. And I have been absolutely addicted to solo vacations ever since. I have gone on solo vacations. Like I worked in advertising for a really long time and you hop around from accounts and companies. That's kind of like how you get the next promotion or a little more money or the right experience. So you hop quite a bit in advertising. And I'd always finagle a few days off in between each gig and I would pop on a solo vacation. And then, when I still kept it up for the most part when my kids were little, but then when I became divorced and had the opportunity to go on solo vacations again when they were with their dad, I did. And that's exactly what I did this past weekend. And let me tell you, it's hard in a lot of ways, don't get me wrong, but it is also like the most incredible experience. Um, I can guarantee you, if you book a solo vacation, you will gain confidence, you will recharge, you will get to do whatever you want, whenever you want. And the most important thing, which is probably the least favorite thing that anyone is going to want to do, is that you can finally hear and sit with your own thoughts. So, this trip for me was like the most perfect timing. I am ready to turn the page in my personal and professional life into a new chapter. And I like to do those things intentionally, right? Like there's definitely, I talk about this a lot on the show. There are moments when you're like, okay, I'm ready for a new chapter. I'm ready to show up differently in my community. I'm ready to, I don't know, try dating in a different way. I'm ready to, or not, or, whatever it may be, or professionally, like I love what I'm doing, but I want to tweak one thing. Those are kind of all things that I am ruminating on. And I think the thing when we think about writing our next chapter and writing our own story is that you don't always have to completely blow up your life. You can just turn the page. Even turning the page can feel pretty daunting, but you'll know it's time when you're kind of sitting with it and sitting with it, and you're like, something definitely doesn't feel right, and it's time for a shift, which is incredibly empowering. But there is this moment in that, like, I know my past or my current state is not serving me the way I want it to serve me anymore. I know there are things to be changed. I either A, don't know what that new version looks like or that new chapter looks like, or B, I do know what that new chapter looks like, but I don't know how to get there yet. So that is like the most perfect time to take a solo vacation. So it just happened to work out that my kids are on vacation with their dad for a couple of days. So I popped down to South Hall, Tennessee. One of my big recommendations for taking a solo vacation, especially your first, is to go someplace you've been before. Because it's a lot. Like I am hyper independent, definitely to a fault. And, like flying somewhere on my own does not bother me. Staying in a hotel room by myself does not bother me. I've been on a million work trips, but like just kind of like navigating the day and booking things and being solely responsible, I don't know, it can just feel daunting. So I really like to go to some place, especially also like navigating transportation and really knowing what you want to do and get the most out of it. So one of my best friends, Laura, and I had done a girls trip to South Hall maybe 2 summers ago, and it was incredible. They have a spa, they have a pool, all the nature to hike around in. So I went back down there. But I think it's so important to when you're in the midst of something to be able to sit in the quiet and hear your feelings. I hear a lot of people, some of the most closest people in my life, say they don't ever want to be alone because they don't want to be alone with their feelings. Trust me, I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot. But once you get used to it, it's like critically important to your happiness. So that's exactly what I did. I went down. Um, I went for technically 3 nights. I got in late-ish on Thursday and then did Friday, Saturday, and home on Sunday. But let me tell you, like, first of all, before I get into what my incredible itinerary was, to encourage you guys to all take these solo vacations, I also want to recognize that like it is so hard to find the time, and it's an expense. So I completely honor that. There are a million ways that you can do a solo vacation. You can do it for an overnight. You can do it, I don't know, a day trip. You can do, if this, I really, really, really encourage this experience for every woman. And so I would just urge you to get creative. If you are a busy mom and you're like, how am I ever going to take a break from all these kiddos? Trust me, I get it. But it is so incredible to find the time. And also, like, what a great example to your family to be like, hey, like, I need a reset. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with me. I'm going to take this trip and I will be back recharged and ready to snuggle. So let me tell you all about my itinerary. It was incredible. Normally, when I go on solo vacations, like I'm a pretty active person. I also love a lay by the pool or on the beach moment, and twist my arm if there's a spa. So I got in Thursday night. I also am totally comfortable sitting at a breakfast place or a lunch place with a book or my laptop or whatever. Dinners, usually because I've like done so much during the day or been in the sun so much during the day, I'll do room service for dinner and then just like read my book and go and maybe like go for a little walk and go to bed. So I got in Thursday night, got room service, honorary salad, fries, and wine. Duh. My room had a fireplace in it, so I sat by the fire. It was incredible. Went to bed, woke up. I slept in. I mean, my kids are, like they can get up and take care of themselves, but sleeping in is still such a privilege as a parent. Even if I woke up early, just to not have to like make breakfast or get up and take someone somewhere or someone come in and be like, what are we doing today? Just the peace of a slow morning is one of my favorite things. So that was incredible. I'm like, already vacation, already won, done. Then I went to the spa. I laid by the pool. I read my book. I also I am very intentional about how I want to feel every day, especially when I'm in the process of like writing a new chapter, which I use this vacation for. I like to call it the daily design method. I got this from Gabby Bernstein. I believe that's even what she calls it or something to that effect. But it's basically like, and I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about this on the show before, but what matters the most to me is not what I do every day. It's how I want to feel every day. So before I would even take my feet out of the bed to start the day, I think about how do I want to feel today? And then there's more questions to it. But most importantly, how do I want to feel today? And looking at what's on my items or my agenda for the day, how am I going to make sure I feel that way going through what I have planned for the day? So a lot of it was kind of like reconnecting with my value and my confidence and being excited about life, which I feel all those things for sure, but I really wanted to bring those to the forefront of my planning for my next chapter. And it was incredible. Like I like to rate how do I feel about that in the morning and then hold myself accountable and check it at nighttime to be like, okay, did I do it? Did I feel valuable and confident and excited about life or, whatever it may be. So I did while I was sitting by the pool. And so the first day I did a massage and then I soaked in their mineral pool and laid in the sun like a lizard with my hat on, of course. Everyone get your skin checked. I had to have a Mohs procedure. I am totally fine, but it is just a reminder to wear your sunscreen and get your skin checked. And then I pushed myself the first night. So like laid by the pool pretty much all afternoon. And I went to live music by myself. I've never done that before. And it wasn't even like it was on site at the resort. So there wasn't a place for me to like saddle up to the bar and chit chat with the bartender and occasionally glance at my phone. I was like sitting at a table by myself. I made it a little over an hour. And then I personally was like, yeah, I feel weird. No one's gonna understand this unless you're single. But I even like switched my Aura ring to my wedding finger which obviously I don't wear a ring on that finger anymore. But I just was like, I don't I don't want anyone thinking about me or my business. So I'm just going to be like everybody else. I'm going to put that ring on that finger. Um, and for all my single girls out there, you totally understand. You either feel like a threat or like a fish out of water, or I don't know. You'd be surprised until you don't have it how much society is built around couples and marriage. And that is perfectly okay. I am so happy and so peaceful and so content. But in that particular situation, when I was feeling a little uncomfortable because I was in a setting where I was like, okay, if I look at my phone, the guy like playing guitar is going to be like, she's rude. So I was like, ugh. And he was really good. And then I'm just sitting at a table by myself. So I don't know. I did it, whatever. And so I made it like an hour, hour and a half. And then I walked home, ordered a glass of wine to my room and some food, and read my book and went to bed. The next day, the blackout curtains, I literally slept till 10 o'clock. It was 11 o'clock my time. And then I went to a sound bath and I was like, okay, this is all about like resetting your nervous system. So I went to the sound bath and I didn't reset my nervous system. So instead, I did plan B and drank spicy margs by the pool and ate guacamole, and it was heaven. I read 1.5 books while I was there for, 3 nights, which one of the nights was really short. Um, I had the most incredible day. And most importantly, yes, pushing yourself to do hard things does make you feel more confident. Even just like going there, navigating it, doing it all on your own, that absolutely made me feel more confident. Um, it was incredibly recharging. Truly. I felt like there's something so liberating and recharging to do what you want when you want without any pressure from anyone else or to take care of anyone else. And most importantly, I could sit and I could hear myself. I could hear my feelings. I could sit with them instead of trying to push them away, and I could work through them. And honestly, you guys, if you sit with your feelings and you just don't hide from it, everything's going to be okay. Like, I mean, truly, like everything that felt like big. Or do you ever have these moments where you're kind of in this like middle moment where you're like, okay, I know I'm ready for a new chapter. I'm ready to turn the page on a couple of things in life. Like, but I don't know what that looks like. Or do you ever have those moments where you're like, oh my God, everything keeps happening? I mean, it has been a doozy of the past 6 weeks. We don't need to get into it. I don't need to air my laundry on here, but it has been a really, really challenging personal past 6 weeks. I'm fine. Everybody's fine. It's been health related, relationships related, family related, you name it. We've done it. Everyone is fine. I am fine. But that doesn't mean that those 6 weeks weren't really hard. And so I could just sit and process those and be like, okay, I'm through it. I don't want to suffer. I'm just going to release all those things and move forward and focus on my future and enjoy my future. And it was incredible. It was so incredible. And I came back from this trip with an energy and an excitement and new tools within myself to really, truly like write this next chapter. And as cheesy as it sounds, live my best life. There were definitely hard parts, right? Like being lonely definitely creeps in. You're by yourself for a really long time. You're watching everyone on girls' trips and couples' trips and all the things. And you're like that. And I love those trips, but these solo trips are so important too. It was weird being at the live music by myself, but I also enjoyed it. And I was proud of myself for trying something new. And sitting in your feelings cannot be all that easy sometimes. But I rode the whole way home, first of all, listening to my new audiobook. Well, my book that I was reading, I downloaded it on Audible, and it's just so good. Giver of Stars, is that what it's called? Oh my God, it's incredible. You guys have to read it if you haven't. And with like a fresh, clear energy on sort of my now what moment. So I've started to talk about it on the show. I'm developing a product called Now What, which really is all about helping women when they look around and life doesn't look like they intended it to be, figure out how to write their next chapter. A lot of times that happens to us in traumatic moments, right? You get divorced, you have health issues, you have job issues, you have relationship issues, you have, I don't know, family issues. And all of a sudden you look around and you're like, this is not what I wanted life to look like. Something's got to change. Now, what am I going to do? And after all the conversations with women that I've had over the past 2.5 years, after my own personal experience, after being Jay Shetty certified, I feel so equipped to be able to bring forward a program where people can help figure out truly how to write their next chapter. So that's what I like to call really the now what moment. And within the now what moment, there is this daily design where, like, if you are feeling really crappy, when so often in those now what moments you feel like shit, you feel sad, you feel overwhelmed, there's like this 30-day sprint to just feeling better. And so that is fully baked, and I was starting to do the daily design with that over vacation, and it works. It really works. So anyway, now what is rolling out in the next month or so? You can click the link in the bio if you want to sign up, just to learn when it's actually going to be available and hear more about it. My whole point being, though, now what is such a, I mean, how many times have we said that to ourselves in our life? And this was exactly what this trip was for me. It was a now what moment, and I'm going home. I am home with so much clarity, so much enthusiasm, so much peace, and so much excitement that I am ready for the next chapter. I'm ready to write those pages. I'm ready to turn the page. I also, after going on a solo vacation and sitting by myself, have the tools to be able to, when fear creeps back in of what if it doesn't work out? What if I'm making the wrong decision? Whatever, I can return to how I want to feel during this next chapter and have the tools to be able to put fear away. I read something recently where I was like, oh my God, every woman needs to hear this. I'm going to get it wrong, but it's essentially like life doesn't require suffering. Good things can come easily. And if you think about it, and if you think, especially for women, but probably men too, all of the voices that we have in our head telling us what, all the fear voices of what might happen, what might not work out, what did you do wrong in the past, etc. All the critical voices, all of the judgment voices. If you think about it, that's all suffering. And it's like, I'm just at this point in my life where I no longer want to suffer. Are hard things going to happen to me? All the time. It's fine. It's part of life. You wouldn't know good without hard, right? Actually, it's not fine. I wish they would stop, but that's not, unfortunately, I don't think I get that choice. But I'm done suffering. I'm done with the negative thoughts in my head. I'm done with being stuck in fear. That doesn't mean that those things no longer creep in or no longer happen to me anymore. But one of my big takeaways from this solo trip was I'm done suffering, and that I have the ability to stop the suffering. I can control my own thoughts. I may have to try over and over and over again, but I have the ability to stop my own suffering, control my own thoughts, and choose a different feeling and choose to show up differently. You are in control of so much more than you think. You're in control of all your reactions. It's incredible. So not only was this solo vacation an adventure, relaxing, freedom, full of all my favorite snacks, massages. I'm a lizard after laying by the pool for a couple of days. Don't tell my dermatologist. But I also am recharged with a new energy and a new focus that makes me want to turn the page in a way where I can appreciate the past. And I don't even worry about the future. I'm just excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm open to it. And I'm writing from a place of knowing exactly how I want to feel, valuable and confident and really excited and really involved in my community. And I just feel so thrilled. And I could not have got here if I didn't take those moments to sit and think and sort through my feelings and find my own intuition and learn from my own self how to take the next step forward. So that's my rant about solo vacations. Again, I've done it since I was 22 and I'm 29/44. So I've been at it here for a minute and I'm an expert at it at this point. And I was telling a bunch of people last week, I was like, oh yeah, the kids are going with their dad to Lake George. So I'm going to do a solo trip. And everyone was like, what? And I'm like, I've done these since college. And people looked so intrigued, a little terrified, and a little jealous. And I think all those are very appropriate responses. And so I just wanted to come on the show and talk about it. And if one woman out there is like, I could just use a minute, or if you have, a gap on your calendar that feels daunting, how can you make a solo vacation out of it? Even if you can't leave and go anywhere, how can you do a staycation that feels solo, that's intentional about relaxing and confidence building and recharging? Because every woman deserves to feel this way. Okay, guys, that's all I've got. Again, if you're curious about the Now What program that's in development, I'm so excited about it. I feel like wildly calm and peaceful in knowing about it, which is an incredible feeling. I think it will really help women who are in the midst of some really hard things, which really is so much of what this show is about, and to put down those shoulds and live life by your design and how you want to do it and how you want to feel. So if that is of interest, check out the link in the bio, or excuse me, the show notes, so that you can get on the email list to when you can learn when it's actually ready to roll. Other than that, absolutely check out where you can go on your own solo vacations, make an intention for it, and go live your best life. I feel so fortunate that I was able to do it. Even if it's a staycation, give yourself that beautiful treat. And most importantly, no matter what, give yourself and trust yourself in your ability to feel your own feelings and to sit in the uncomfortableness of it and to sort through it. I know some things in life are so big and so hard and so scary and so painful, but it stays stuck if you don't sit there and feel through it and process it and then let it go. That's the best part. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to whatever. You can just let it go. And it is so liberating. So that's my wise words of wisdom coming back from my solo trip, South Hall, Tennessee. Thank you for your hospitality. It was incredible per usual. And thanks everyone for listening. Go book your trip. We'll catch you next time.